Hi, my name is Michelle Moglia. I have an accounting practice in Long Island, New York, and I'm making this video today in response to lots of questions from my business clients regarding the ERC credit, Employee Retention Credit. A lot of misinformation going on out there, but mostly the solicitation by companies to get this credit for clients. Yes, this is a real credit. It's very significant if you fit the criteria. But the reason for the video is that some of my clients that I have actually done an analysis to see if they are eligible for the credit, and determining that they are not based on the criteria outlined by the IRS. These companies are soliciting and really not asking for much information, but telling clients that they are eligible for it and that they're going to get them tons and tons of money based on nothing. So the reason for the video is that I want everyone to be aware that yes, these credits really do exist, and yes, they're really significant, but there are criteria that have to be followed in order to be eligible. You know, a reduction in income because of COVID shutdowns, and you were still paying employees, or just a reduction in revenue from 2020 and 2021 compared to 2019 is one of the biggest qualifiers. Large employers treated a little differently than small employers, so the criteria is different, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of that in this video, but it really is important to know that there is a credit, but you have to know if you're eligible for it before you can apply for it, or before you should apply for it. So in an example from one of my clients that I, again, specifically did an analysis to see if they were eligible, and I determined they were not, a company contacted them and told them they were going to get them tons of money, and all they asked for were their 941 payroll tax forms. So how they would determine their eligibility based only on their 941s is totally beyond me. But the repercussions of doing this, and honestly it is causing some clients to question what I'm doing, because somebody else can get them the money. It's very much like the PPP when people were applying for it fraudulently. If you get the credit and you're not eligible for it, and you are challenged by the IRS for this, and it's determined that you were not eligible and you have to pay this money back, remember that you're not only going to have to pay back what you were given incorrectly, you're going to have to pay penalties, interest, and the fee that you give to these companies is not their problem, it's yours. So you're going to actually be giving them back the fee that you gave to these companies to do it. And trust me, by the time the IRS catches up to this, these companies are not going to be around. And that's not to say that all these companies are fraudulent. It's to just make you aware that you need to do your due diligence before you sign up for one. If any of the companies are asking you for money up front, I would highly recommend looking at a different company if you're interested in trying to find out about your eligibility for the ERC credit. Usually a legitimate company will take a commission, a percentage of your total refund amount that you're eligible for. It is a refundable credit, so if you've already paid your payroll tax, you will get this back, or if you haven't paid your tax, it will lower your tax liability for the quarters that you might be eligible for. But you really need to do your due diligence, know what they're looking at. I highly suggest asking whoever you're going to work with for some kind of documentation to show why they believe you're eligible for the credit. That way you're not in jeopardy of having it taken back. Something else to remember is that if you were given a PPP credit, it is important that whoever's checking eligibility knows that, because this actually does get added back into your gross receipts income test when determining eligibility. So it's really important to know that. It doesn't make you ineligible, it just means it has to be factored into the calculation. And keep in mind that if you use an outside company or an accountant, that that returns will have to be amended for those periods where you were going to receive the credit. So I'm sure you've already filed 2020 and 2021 returns. They may have to be amended if you are eligible for the credit and you do take the credit. So this really isn't about determining your eligibility. It's just about making you aware that there are requirements And be careful, because there are lots of scams going on out there, and I've been dealing with them directly with my clients who have been contacted and told that they're going to get them lots of money when I know doing the worksheets that they're not. So beware. Remember, you're the one who signs the returns, not them. So this is on you. You can't blame it on anybody else. And while it is exciting to be offered this much money, just make sure that you really do this credit. You really don't want to get yourself into more trouble. I will post a follow-up video and try to outline some of the criteria that you can look for, but you really need to speak to somebody who understands the criteria and ask the right questions. If you have anything you would like me to discuss directly, please just put a comment below and I will try to address it directly. Again, I'll try to put a follow-up video that outlines specific details for small businesses, what you need to look for. Thank you.